Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am doing my Invisalign update. As you guys know, I have had Invisalign for 1 year now, which is so crazy. And I am going to be finishing my Invisalign in June. So I feel like now that I've had so much time with it, I can kind of give you guys an idea of everything I've dealt with. So for those of you considering Invisalign, I have to tell you, I'm so happy with it. I'm not wearing it right now because I've decided I'm not going to use it when I film because it does give me a bit of a lisp. But it's not enough to where people actually hear it. It's just me. And I've had people say that to me so many times because I'm always like, oh, I have such a lisp right now. I'm so sorry. And they're like, we didn't even notice. So I think it's just me noticing it. But anyways, it will give you a little bit of a lisp, but you do get used to it after a while. I wanted to take you guys through, because I did do an Invisalign update like way back when I had had it for like a month or two, and probably longer actually. I can't remember. I'll have to look at that. But anyways, I wanted to do kind of a more in-depth one of what you end up dealing with. So first of all, using Invisalign, you do go to the dentist every I would say every 10 to 12 weeks. You receive packets of your liners, your trays, and you replace them every 2 weeks. So right now I am on number 22 and I have to get to 32. And they just go in really easy. They do end up having to put clips on your teeth, which you can't see. Like if just talking you and I, you wouldn't be able to notice, but I will do a close-up so you can see them. They are tooth colored so that you don't notice them, but they're there because they're either trying to push or pull your tooth in a particular direction. Also, something that I learned in December of this year, of 2016, so just for me last month, was that as you're going on, sometimes if you have like a particularly stubborn tooth that isn't moving like it should, your orthodontist can give you what's called chewies. And they are just these little green rubber hoses that you just chew on like this. And what it does is you chew on them basically as often as you can. So I typically do them when I'm watching when I'm watching TV at night, or if I go and I watch a movie during the day or something, I'll do it then. And it helps push the tray into your tooth, or push your tooth into the tray, and it forces your tooth to move in the direction that the tray wants it to go, which is slightly painful, especially like I'm doing it right now. And this side of my mouth, on the bottom right side, there's one tooth that is supposed to be moving and it isn't, and as I do it I can feel like the pressure that it's putting on. It is slightly painful, not enough that you would like be crying or anything like that. However, I have had an instance like that where they did end up putting an aligner in that was for like 5 or 6 weeks ahead, and it was so painful, and they just kept pushing it in. And he was like, why is it not going in? And then he realized that his assistant had actually handed him the wrong package. And I was like, ah, it hurts so bad. But there is an item that you can purchase where you use it every day for 30 minutes and it actually cuts your Invisalign time in half. But it was like $1,500. And I'm like, that's like almost half of, and I was like, that's like just under half of what the actual Invisalign costs. So I decided I would just stick with these, and they work really well. I don't mind chewing on them, and it kind of is like chewing on gum, so it's not that bad. So sometimes, like, you know, when you have a piece of gum and you're chewing it and you can't spit it out because you're like talking to somebody important or something, and so you just have this gum and it's just getting harder and harder and harder, and your jaw starts aching. That is sometimes a feeling I get when I have the Invisalign in all day, because you have to have it in for a minimum of 22 hours a day. And you get that feeling like your jaw starts hurting from talking, because the Invisalign like applies that pressure, and so you can feel it throughout the day, and it just like builds up a little bit. It's not anything crazy, it's just a little bit like your jaw feels tired almost. But usually when I hit that point, I will pop them out for about 10-15 minutes, and the pressure kind of subsides, and then I put it back in. Another thing that I noticed with the Invisalign that I wasn't 100% prepared for is that you will end up needing an emery board, because the trays are made from plastic, and there are times where it's kind of sharp, or it's like a little bit like a little fragment needs to come off or something. So if you just take just a super cheap emery board and just file on it just a little bit, it will make a huge difference to how it feels and sits in your mouth. All in all, I have to say it's the best decision I ever made. I'm so happy with the results, and I'm not even completed yet. I will say it does, you will never forget that you have them in. So there are some people who I've heard say like, oh, I had them and I just like completely forgot about them. You will always know that they're there, and your tongue is just like such a curious little creature. It's just like constantly rubbing on them when you first get them. But after a while, your tongue will get used to it, and you get used to it, but you won't forget that they're there. But they are just such a great invention, because I never would have done this if I would have had to have done metal braces, because as an adult, it's not something that you want to be wearing. I mean, you don't even want to wear them as a teen. So it really gives adults such a great option. And I'm just so happy with them. My teeth have made such a dramatic change just in this year that I've had them, and I cannot wait until I'm completely finished. I have to say, I was a little bit disappointed at first when he said I'd have to have them for 18 months, because I had heard other people on YouTube that had them for like 9 months. I was like, oh my God, that's so long. But first of all, that 18 months is going by so fast, it's like ridiculous. But also, a lot of those people that I follow on YouTube that had Invisalign ended up having to do, what do they call it? It starts with an R. Revisions, where it didn't happen the way that it was supposed to happen. They didn't go down enough or straighten enough. So they've had to do extra courses of it, where you go and get new trays made and sent to you. And or they chose not to do the revision, and they still have some crooked areas. So by stretching it out longer, doing the full 2 weeks for each item, sometimes if it feels a little bit tight when I'm still putting it in and out, I will keep it for an additional week. So some of them have been in for 3 weeks rather than 2 weeks. And then also having these help kind of push them into their place has made a huge difference. But yeah, I'm just so happy. I can't wait until I'm done. I'm very excited for that moment. And it really is something that helps boost your confidence, because when you have really crooked teeth, you don't want to show them off. You don't want to be smiling and laughing. But at the same time, we should all be smiling and laughing as often as we can. And crooked teeth or not, it shouldn't be something that stops you, but it does. We all have our insecurities, and that was always something I was so insecure about. And I just am so happy with it, and I'm so happy I'm almost done. And yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a little update on my thoughts about it and things that I've been using, like the chewies, which is making a huge difference. And it just, if you are considering it, I would totally recommend it and go for it, because it really is something that has just made me feel better about me. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. For anything that I can remember that I might have forgotten to add in this video, I'll add into a blog post, which will be linked down below. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!